toxic masculinity.
Ahmad Aliwi Alissa suspected in Boulder shooting.
That would have been perfect,
It's
except
like everything A. Ahmad Aliwi Alissa.
it would have been perfect except for you say your W's as V's because you're a Russian.
Aliwi.
Russians say they're
Aliwi.
Russians. Yeah, I don't know how you pronounce his name. No idea. Let's see here. So anyway, so this I assume Muslim guy was the one who shot everybody up in Boulder, Colorado. This is obviously tragic. Everybody is, quite upset about this. Let's see here. A 21-year-old Syrian-born man was identified Tuesday as the alleged Colorado supermarket shooter who killed 10 people, including a police officer, with records revealing that he had posted online about Islamophobia and once cold-cocked a high school bully. So he was probably like, a nerdy guy, socially awkward, bullied in school. Cold-cocked means he just punched him. There's nothing. I don't know why they said cold-cocked in particular. Let's see here. Ahmad Aliwi Alissa of Arvada, Colorado, now faces 10 counts of first-degree murder for the rampage he allegedly unleashed Monday afternoon in a King Soopers grocery store in Boulder, Colorado, where some shoppers were out getting COVID-19 vaccines, officials said at a Tuesday briefing. We will hold the evildoer responsible to the full extent of the law for his actions. You called him an evildoer? That's kind of funny, actually. I don't know. It adds a little levity that I think is unnecessary in this particular case. It said Democrat Governor Jared Polis, we will always remember the victims of the King Soopers shooting. It also doesn't help that the name of the grocery store is King Soopers. It's kind of funny also. Alissa's now deleted Facebook page says he was born in Syria in 1999, came to the United States in 2002. According to the Daily Beast, his account included postings about Islam, such as the faith's prayers and religious holidays, and his apparent suspicions that he was under surveillance. Yeah, if these racist Islamophobic people would stop hacking my life phone, and let me have a normal life, I probably could, he wrote in one July 2019 post, according to the Daily Beast. In a different post, Alissa shared another person's thoughts the day after the 2019 mosque massacres in Christchurch, New Zealand, that killed 51 people. The Muslims at Christchurch Mosque were not the victims of a single shooter, the reposted message reportedly read. They were the victims of the entire Islamophobia industry that vilified him. that vilified them. You know how I kind of think about that? The idea that...
What?
the girl who compiles our stories is like, you sound like you have a cold. Did you catch the COVID? I don't know, because I slept a long time today, but I don't think I'm sick.
No, you sounds like it when you recently woke up.
Woke up.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
you're fine, I'm sure.
I don't think I'm sick, but I don't know why I slept so much. It's weird, because I slept a full night's sleep, and then I slept like 2 more hours during the day. Very strange. Anyway. But yeah, so this idea that Islamophobia is this rampant problem in America, certainly you do have some, like the Christchurch shooter, you do have some radicals out there. I would say far fewer Christian white radicals than you have, say, like Muslim radicals from the Middle East. But you do have some occasionally. But I don't think that that's like a problem that stems from some kind of systemic or endemic Islamophobic issue. I don't know. Have you heard anyone ever say anything Islamophobic since you've moved to the United States? Like anybody that we've ever met? We hang out in like Republican circles in LA. We meet a lot of people. I've never heard anyone say anything remotely Islamophobic ever. I don't know but so the problem isn't really that there is all this Islamophobia. The problem is that you have places like CNN telling people like this guy, oh, there's all this Islamophobia. You got to watch out. You got to be scared. You got to worry about all this Islamophobia. And then he's got a little something off about him already. He thinks people are hacking into his phone and crap. Probably no one had any idea who this guy was. And he becomes paranoid, and he starts to think, oh yeah, all these white people hate me. This Islamophobia is terrible in America. It needs to be stopped. He gets a little something in his head. He snaps. and then he goes and he shoots a bunch of people. So I actually think the media, CNN, MSNBC, New York Times, places like this, for spreading this myth of Islamophobia, I think they are actually more culpable and more responsible for what happened there than anyone on the right. They wanted to, say, I'm sure they wanted to say this guy was a white guy, like they said about the that kid who shot up all the massage parlors. But unfortunately for them, it was not a white male. I mean, I guess he's kind of white. I don't know.
He's white.
People in the Middle East can be white, but
He
they're
looks white to me.
Middle Eastern. Yeah, you can have people who look pretty white in like Iran, like blonde, blue-eyed type people, but they're obviously a different culture. They're obviously racially there's a kind of significant difference. Let's see here. Alissa's identity was known to the FBI because he was linked to another individual under investigation by the Bureau. Oh, so maybe his phone was being hacked. Let's see. Law enforcement sources told the New York Times, though the report didn't say who that person is or what they were being probed for. Alissa, who was shot in the leg and hospitalized in stable condition, was expected to be transferred to a local jail Tuesday. What's interesting about this story is when I saw the original pictures of him being walked away from the site, right? I think it's up in this video up here. Yeah, here. When I saw this original video of him walking away, I thought, crap, it's a white guy. That's what I thought. And I was like, but what I thought was really weird was that they weren't releasing his name or they weren't saying he was a Caucasian male. Yeah. And there's a kind of a rule with reporters that if they say the race of the, immediately, they say the race of a shooter or a race of some kind of criminal or suspect immediately, it's almost always because it's a white male, and they want that message out there that white males are dangerous. White males are dangerous. But if it's a black guy or an Arab guy or a Hispanic or something like that, and it's unclear what the race is at first, like they're not releasing the race of the person, it's almost always because they're not white, right? They don't want anybody to think, oh, black people are violent, or Hispanics are violent, or Muslims are violent. They don't want that message out there. So they keep it quiet at first.
Well, but then they can have another message, not just, oh, white guy, okay, he's not white. Then next one, there will be, oh, guns are dangerous, we need to ban all guns.
That's what they've moved on to. Yeah, that's what they've moved on to here. And we'll get to that. We have another story about that. But what I thought was really weird was that it looked like a white guy being walked out, but they weren't releasing his name. So there was this, they didn't make sense to me. I couldn't figure out why they weren't releasing his name or releasing his race. And I thought there's something suspicious there. And I was going to tweet about it and read the story, but I ended up taking a nap instead. But yeah, I was curious. I was like, why are they? And it came out whilst I was napping. It came out that the guy's this Muslim, I don't know if I'd call him a terrorist. Maybe, I guess he's a terrorist, but he seems like he might be crazy. Like his brother
he's crazy.
Said that he had a mental problem or something like that. So, I mean, we'll find out in the coming days. I'm sure what exactly the motivation was, what the deal was. But yeah, Muslim guy can't point to white people and say America's a racist country. Sorry, Democrats. I know you desperately want to. And speaking of people who desperately want to say that that white men in particular, are horrible racists and they're the most violent people in the country, let's go on to the next story, shall we?
Sure. Do I have to read this? Whoops.
Yeah, whoops. Yeah.
Kamala's niece assumed shooter was white. Well, we all assumed that he was white.
Right. But the problem was Toxic Masculinity. Weekdays, 9 p.m. Eastern, 6 p.m. Pacific.